Okay, good evening and welcome officially. This is our second meeting of the Civic Education Task Force. It's great to see folks here. I appreciate it. Let's do a quick round of introductions and let's try to keep this short. So maybe just name and league if you happen to belong to a local league, a local chapter of the League of Women Voters. If you do not, you are very welcome. This is not exclusively for members. My name is Beth Hendricks. I'm the Executive Director of the League of Women Voters of Colorado. I will hand it, let's go to Linda first.
Okay, I'm Linda Hutchinson. I'm the co-director of Action and Advocacy, and Larimer County is my local league.
She's also on the state board.
Yes.
Sue Oates.
I'm a member of Gunnison, Colorado League, and I've lived there for about 25 years, but I spend part of my time, I've got this all backwards, in Chicago during the winter where it's gray and I miss the Colorado sun.
That is a little backwards, Sue, but
You
you do you. Elisa.
Hi, I'm Elisa Krakel. I'm actually in Montezuma County League of Women Voters.
Excellent. Linda.
I'm Linda Burrows, and I'm with the Larimer County League
Right.
chapter.
Mina.
I am Mina Hall. I am with the Arapahoe Douglas League, and at one time working on civics education, we didn't get too far, and Observer Corps. And I'm trying to fix my camera.
Stacy.
Hi, I'm Stacy Johnson. I'm with the Boulder League.
Lori.
Hi, I'm Lori Mott. I'm with the League of Women Voters of Montezuma County, and I look forward to work with you, Elisa.
Great. Kathy Marr.
Kathy Marr from Larimer County, and I just want to say how cool it is that we have both our long-term member, Linda Hutchinson, here tonight, and one of our brand new members, Linda Burrows. It's really great to see. Thanks.
Susan Stark.
Hi, I'm Susan Stark. I'm Denver League. Glad to be joining you. Sorry I missed the first meeting.
Nope, no problems. Jennifer.
Hi, I'm Jen Robertson. I'm with the Pikes Peak League. I'm eating dinner, so I'm going to stay off camera.
Great plan. Liz.
Hi, everyone. I'm Liz Houston. I live in Evergreen. I'm in Clear Creek County, which doesn't have a league yet. I'm new to the league, and I'm very likely to join Jefferson County. And I want to say hi to my friend Evie.
Great. Excellent. Well, good segue. Evie.
Hi, I'm Evie Hudak, and I'm with the Jeffco League, and also the Education Task Force, which I see a number of people from on this. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to be off camera for a little while. I have to finish eating dinner.
Yep. It's that time. Harris family.
My name's Ray Harris, and I am not a member of the league, but I get the emails because a friend of mine is, and I'm a former social studies teacher, so I thought I would see what was cooking.
Excellent. Great. Welcome. Maggie.
I'm Maggie Beveridge with the Arapahoe Douglas County League.
And Kim.
Hi, I'm Kim Erickson, and I'm not currently a part of the league, but just interested. I got the emails and I was curious to find out more.
Excellent. Welcome. Okay. So, in our inaugural meeting last month, we decided that this group should focus. Oh, Jennifer, you want to go ahead? You're muted.
Yes, hi. I wanted to introduce myself too. I live
Oh,
north.
I apologize.
That's okay. There's a lot of Jens in there. I live north of Steamboat Springs, about 25 miles. I'm in Routt County. Currently, there is not an active Routt County league, so I joined the state league, and I'm just now trying to figure out which committees and things I want to get involved in. This is something I think is important, so I wanted to listen in tonight to see what you were doing.
Excellent. Great. Let's talk offline too. I'd love to strengthen our presence in Routt County. Okay, is there anybody else I missed? I hope not. Okay, thank you. So last month we decided that this group should focus on both adult education as well as K through 12. We decided that we would try to create a hub of curricula that teachers could pull from. And around adult education, we had talked about a number of activities that we could do to increase knowledge among adults. And we talked a lot about how to reach those that most need this education. So, and we talked about social media outreach and let's see. Well, I know Linda and Elisa were going to research iCivics without meaning to put you on the spot. Do you have any thoughts or news there?
Yes. So we did some training last weekend, not realizing that I was going to get introduced to iCivics through a virtual social studies teacher who does a lot of training and consulting across the country. So looking at the iCivics site, it's awesome. As we know, it was started by Sandra Day O'Connor, but it was developed by teachers. And I don't know, exactly how it gets disseminated to school districts because they do have professional development. A district can, volunteer or ask for the program. And it's a fabulous program. I went in and played some of the games. I wouldn't call them games because you were definitely using your brain a lot, but it's great education delivered in a fun and dynamic program. What I'm thinking, take a Texas playbook. Let's see if we could find out, what districts are using iCivics, what districts aren't using iCivics or would be interested in it, and, try to get it as a standard in high school social studies classes. That education meeting last night really brought home the fact that a lot of the tearing down of the federal government is going to require the states to step in. Okay, Colorado's always been 49th in funding in the nation for education, but Colorado's going to have to step up, and maybe part of Colorado stepping up would be starting to take some action about educating the high school kids about civics.
Linda, did you want to say anything?
I saw that too, and it was really interesting. I'm not an educator, and I'm really primarily passionate about getting information into the hands of adults. So I looked at iCivics, and I also looked at Civics Now, which is their coalition group that they started. And it's primarily for K through 12, people who are in school and have left school as well. And they have 360 members that support Civics Now, everyone from the American Council on Education to the YMCA. And what I noticed in there were that there were a lot of state coalitions that are members of that site as well, that organization. And then I started poking around looking for civics coalitions in Colorado and couldn't find any that were active, which I thought was interesting. Then I found another place. I found out that we have competition, that there are free online civics courses from the Heritage Foundation. And what's that other one? What is that other one that's like the Heritage Foundation? Federalist Society.
Oh, and did you look at those? Are those?
I didn't,
Okay.
because I didn't have enough time, but
Those are the right wing.
I made assumptions, yes. And thought, oh, wow, we really do need to get busy with it. But this other site I found was really fascinating. It's called study.com. And it's actually it's civicthinker.info. And it was begun by a woman who's been a lifelong educator named Donna Cohen. And it's a wonderful, also really extensive Civics 101 coursework, free online. She's temporarily on sabbatical because we know why. She's regrouping, and then in a couple months she's going to be adding to the course, and she also feels quite strongly that access in libraries is crucial, utilizing our libraries. So I would be interested in pursuing more on that line for adult education as well.
Great. Does anyone have any comment about what we just heard? Does anyone have experience with any of these programs?
I do with iCivics. I went to their workshop. It's online and during Civics Week, which is, I think it's March 3rd through the 10th this year. Anyways, I had a great time with it. They have local government, they have judicial, they have financing, they may help you understand the federal budget. And I don't see it just stopping at high school. I think it would be a great program for anybody because it's so interactive and you have to think um and I did really well with the budget. I want you to know. So I could be hired out. And I didn't destroy everything. But it's the local government, explaining local government is wonderful. You have a guy and he's walking around to all these different buildings and he wants a street and he has to go get financing and street lights and how much does this all cost? And it's probably one of the best programs. And just to mention to Linda, why I felt resources were so important was there are a lot of groups who developed civics education and you start off and they're wonderful programs, but as you get deeper, um, they're not that. They take you into either a right or a left. And so not some of the states are requiring nonpartisan curriculum. And so it helps to me, educators, to feel comfortable if we can put resources that say nonpartisan, that type of thing. So March 10th through the 14th. Sorry. Yeah.
Yes, I just wanted to say that both of those, the Donna Cohen program, civicthinker.info, and of course, the Sandra Day O'Connor, they're both nonpartisan.
Right.
With the Federalist Society in those, I found another Hillsdale College, which was quite weird too.
Are these?
Yeah, obviously we need nonpartisan. Go ahead, Sue.
Are these used in the school?
Well, it is available. They actually have training for school districts. They will come to the school and do training, or they'll do
This is
it
iCivics.
synchronously.
And is it like for a whole semester's worth of work?
I think it might even be full years. They've just started a K-5 curriculum as well. So it's a full curriculum, which
And
is
you're talking
impressive
about
too.
iCivics, right, Elisa?
Yes.
Great.
And then
Yeah,
Is there a
I
cost
looked,
associated?
I can't see any cost on the website.
no,
Okay.
I couldn't either. And I wanted to mention that with the Civics Now website, they also have a state policy menu to assist people in directing advocacy work at the state
That's
level.
interesting.
Yeah,
yeah. I'm a
that's
retired
the-
high school teacher. This is Lori Mott talking. I'm a retired high school teacher, and I looked at the curriculum, and it is very teacher friendly. It has lesson plans. It's very easy. It would be very easy for them to implement and save them a lot of time. It talks about the state standards. So, and it's nonpartisan. It really is upfront about that. I sent it to the high school teacher here in Montezuma, Cortez School District. I haven't heard back from her yet, but I'm trying to get together with her and just introduce her to the curriculum and see if she's willing to use it.
Cool. Sue Stark.
I'm new, but one of the things I heard recently is that the Girl Scouts now has, I think, something like a civics badge. And I think Girl Scouts of America has developed, I have not looked into this, I just heard about this, has developed some sort of a box that they of things that they send out to Girl Scout troops. So we might want to look into that, and or partner with some of the Girl Scout troops. I think that's another place to do this outside of the formal classroom.
Absolutely. And we're actually in the process of developing several programs in a box with the Girl Scouts since LWVUS did announce a formal partnership with the Girl
And
Scouts.
Andrea Wilkins is a Girl Scout troop leader.
She sure is.
Yeah.
For folks who don't know, that's our staff legislative liaison. And her daughter got her gold award, which is like the Eagle Scout award. So, Kathy.
Yeah, so I was just going to mention that the Larimer County League is running that Girl Scout
Voter
it's
Girl, yeah.
actually the LWV Kent, Ohio developed this Voter Girl project that's run in partnership with the Girl Scouts of America. And so the Larimer League has partnered with Girl Scouts of Colorado to run a session that was supposed to happen last November, but got postponed because of bad weather in November. So that's going to take place, I think it's April 12th. But it's a full day. It's a really cool program. It's fun for kids, and they've got all ages of Girl Scouts. So yeah, that is a neat program. But yeah, I was interested to hear more about what the Colorado League is developing with the Girl Scouts in general. So I just wanted to mention that.
Great. Yeah, Voter Girl is a great program. It's just a bummer they charge so much for it. I have long wanted to get with the Kent, Ohio League and try to work out a deal so that each league in Colorado, it's around $500, isn't that right? So
yeah, and then you need a big facility to run it because you need actual classrooms, several of them. So renting a facility that size is also very expensive. So yeah, you're looking at and there's all kinds of accoutrements and things you have to order, and some of it you'll get back with students or the girls buying things. But yeah, I think it'll be like $1,500 or $2,000 to run one of these sessions. So yeah, it's expensive.
That's a lot of money.
A lot of Girl Scout cookies.
But there is a Girl Scout troop in every zip code in Colorado, which is pretty amazing. So that'll be a great partnership opportunity for every chapter in the state and for folks here that aren't members, you know, you're learning a lot about what you can do, hopefully. Okay. So it sounds like there's a lot of enthusiasm around. Oh, Sue, did you have your hand up?
No.
I just wondered if there might, call me Susan.
Okay, I will do that.
And Sue.
Okay.
I just wondered if there might be some grant money available to get that. And I was thinking about your new office space as a site that we could run something like that at no extra charge to League of Women Voters of Colorado.
Absolutely. Our office is always available for folks to use. It's not going to be much help to Sue or
Right.
who was down in Montezuma?
Right.
Liz? Yeah. So, but yes, noted. Anyone who wants to use our office, you are welcome to. And yeah, I want to try to get the Voter Girl program available to all local leagues, ideally for one cost, one package that the state league pays for and makes available to local leagues. Haven't gotten there though. So I like the idea of the state policy menu with Civics Now. And I wonder if we can't kind of pull something off of there to inform our advocacy work. But otherwise, it kind of sounds like there's a lot of enthusiasm around iCivics. Now, I'm not saying that we need to endorse only one program in any way, but we had talked about, creating a hub for teachers, and we can include as many as we want. Now, ideally, folks at the local level will do like Lori did and go find their friends, well, not even adult friends, but in local high schools and advocate for these programs as part of their curriculum. Civics. Oh, Civics Now is part of iCivics. That is interesting.
iCivics started, I believe it started Civics Now. It's an extension, but it's the coalition part, separate from just teaching K through 12. Sorry, that wasn't clear.
Beth,
yeah, that's great. Yes.
Can you tell me when I might, or if you want me to, explain what we've done in Gunnison? It's very specific. I'm thinking small here, but if you're looking for a portfolio of things that might be educational, I'd love to share what we did.
Great. Absolutely, Sue. Let me get Kathy's question.
I was just going to go back to what Evie raised in the chat. We should find out what the state standards are for civics if we're talking about schools. And I thought maybe some of our teachers here have ready access to that and understand it. I don't have a clue what is taught in schools. And I'm not also kind of not sure. Are we talking about doing both like high school level and adults or in the community, or have we decided we're just kind of brainstorming now, or?
Yeah, we're kind of brainstorming, and this is only our second meeting. So at the first meeting, we did decide that we'd like to hit both populations, K-12 and adult.
Yeah.
And obviously there's those two populations are found in different places.
Getting a handle on what the standards are is
they're online. You can see them online.
Right. But I mean, us as a group, we need to sort of internalize that.
Absolutely. And I've looked at them before, and I know that, there are standards for each grade from maybe even P up to 12, but definitely K. So does anyone, I'm guessing that Evie is searching for those right now by the look on her face. Um, so when you find,
I am, and they appear to be part of the social studies standards. So
yes,
let me continue to do my search, and I'll link something in the chat when I find it.
great. Thanks for that. So are we still on, or do we still like the idea of creating a hub of various programs for teachers to access, or should we all focus on just one?
Some of the, I went through and I looked at the leagues and then specifically within their civics education, and media issues was a hot topic in civics education, discerning what is true, what is fact, and those wonderful things. And so they also included that, and C-SPAN does, let's see, C-SPAN does what is fake news and how does it impact our lives. And so you can find different programs. So doing civics ed, I got the feeling that also understanding the media, what is true, what is not true, how news can be slanted, that type of thing was part of civics ed. And I think that's one area in our resources as I looked at all these other programs was including that. But
Can
a
you
separate
repeat what
resource.
that C-SPAN is
Oh,
again?
C-SPAN. Classroom, what is fake news and how does it impact our lives? And C-SPAN also has a variety of other education for civics. And it's called the C-SPAN Classroom Deliberations. .org. Yeah.
Yeah, you're absolutely right that civics includes critical thinking, bolstering critical thinking skills. We do already have a task force on news access and literacy. Linda Hutchinson, you want to say something?
Sure. Well, that's kind of why I'm here, is because I am really concerned about news literacy or illiteracy, however you want to put it. And I'm not sure if it's which one's the chicken and which one's the egg, but they seem to go together. We have a news literacy page with news literacy tips for spotting misinformation and disinformation. And I think it would be great if these two task forces could eventually work together on critical thinking and news literacy, because they just seem to go hand in hand to me.
Absolutely. I'm looking for the link to the Larimer page.
Keep going down.
Okay.
It's at the top too, but yeah, these are all videos, I think.
Yes. Sorry for
way
the
at the top. Go to the
vertigo,
top,
folks.
and that little blue box that Katina put up, and spotting disinformation right there.
So we have a lot of information available on this. So I encourage you all to look at that. Because there absolutely will be a lot of overlap between those two task forces, which is awesome because that's just collective voices being louder and stronger. So, oh, thanks, Evie. Do you want to talk at all about what you found?
Well, I didn't have time to look at everything. I just noticed that, for example, in kindergarten, because that's the first one I came up, because it's in order, right? From kindergarten through 12th grade. So they have the outcomes that they're hoping for, like in kindergarten, differentiate among examples of civic participation, such as community events, voting, debating, running for office, advocating, fundraising, and volunteering. Explain the qualities of an informed and engaged citizen. Practice citizenship when working with others. Identify the difference between fact and opinion. These are the evidence outcomes for kindergarten. You really should look through. You could download that document and look through it. It'll take you a long time, but civics is separated at every level. And they have the outcomes, the academic content, inquiry questions, nature and skills, and even media literacy is part of it.
Yeah. My experience from Gunnison is that they're teaching all of this in civics. And they emphasize the media literacy.
And my experience is that because social studies is not tested at the elementary level, that it is very often not taught. And I wonder if any of you have considered looking district wide instead of teacher by teacher, or reaching out to department heads rather than just friends that we have in the schools, because it's a good teachers find a way to put it in, but when there is so much pressure on teaching math and reading, that civics education is, for all the wonderful materials that are available, very often doesn't happen. That may not be true in middle and high schools, especially high schools where you're taking a civics class. But as part of general ed in the elementary schools, I don't see it happening all the time.
And there was a period of time in which we did have social studies tests. One in, I think, 5th grade, I'm not positive. But we're already testing the hell out of our kids, and so the legislature removed the requirement for testing. And I know it was very controversial, and I had a lot of arguments with social studies teachers about, don't say that you have to have a statewide test for it to be taught. I think we need to talk to our school board candidates and maybe go to school board meetings and tell them that we really feel like it should be part of the curriculum beginning in kindergarten, because there are standards.
Right.
And
I don't
we should
disagree with
advocate
you
for that.
I agree with you that there is way too much testing. But if you're the person who's being evaluated on the basis of things that aren't social studies, then that gets to the back burner, is all I'm saying.
So, Evie, you're saying we should advocate for stronger standards?
No, advocate for school boards to require the teaching of social studies in elementary schools. And you test in reading, but what are they reading? They could be reading like things relating to citizenship, right? You don't just read to read, you read something to learn something. As part of the fault of teaching reading, I was a reading teacher. I also have very strong opinions about that.
Okay, we've got 179 school districts in Colorado. So it'd be quite a research project to figure out what each one is doing and what curricula they're using. However, it would be good to know. Is that something we think?
It might be easier if we talk to CASB, the Colorado Association of School Boards, and ask whether we might be able to do a workshop at their annual convention about civics, the teaching of civics and why it's important.
Do you know anybody on CASB?
Oh, yeah.
Does anybody else? Okay, Evie, would you be willing to talk to somebody there?
Yes.
I am happy to join you if you need backup.
Okay.
That would be a great fell swoop. Okay. Before we get into other areas around adult education, Sue Oates at the La Plata County League has created a
The Gunnison League.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. The Gunnison League for creating a program that is, how long does it last? Is it one classroom?
Yeah, 60 to 90 minutes. Just
okay.
Awesome. So just to back up, looking at the state and all the things, civic involvement, engagement by young people does not and should not happen without civic education. And that defined by them is broadly the provision of information and learning experiences to equip and empower citizens to participate in the democratic process. So I am narrowing the funnel in my attempts here. The most basic measure of democratic involvement is voting. The League of Women Voters has championed that right and responsibility since day one. So I think the League of Women Voters is in a good position to make this an important part of their program, which you are doing. So I knew about some of these other programs, but I developed something just for Gunnison. And it was off of a sports kind of format. And I presented it, we presented it to the associate principal at the Gunnison High School. She liked the idea very much. She brought in the principal, the teachers. We sold the idea, then we got busy writing a script because we wanted them to know exactly what we, as much as possible, exactly what we were going to say, because we wanted to be the ones teaching this. We know that teachers do bring in outside people at times when there are specific subjects to teach. And there is a semester of civics for everybody in junior year. And we wanted to be one of the people that they brought in. And they liked the script, they approved of it, and we taught it. And there were two of us, and we started out and ended up with the Broadway original score of You'll Be Back from Hamilton about the king. That got everybody's toe topping. And we knew we were a success when one of the teachers offered 10 extra points if we could do a karaoke with it. So it was a lively class, let's put it that way. So this will only take a minute, but this term or the saying, democracy is not a spectator sport, lots of people claim it, one of whom was a League of Women Voters person way back when. So democracy is not a spectator sport. Get in the game, register to vote, know the rules, understand the electoral process, identify the players, know where candidates stand on your issues, play the first half, vote in the primary, finish the game, vote in the general election. So we took each of those sections and we tailored it to our group. And at the end, by the way, they took out their computers and went to the state site and could register or pre-register. So it was a very interactive thing. And I can pass along, I was saying to Beth, I passed along to you the script. I don't know if you passed it along to the members. It's gotten improved. Fortunately, somebody's good at editing and we're making it even better for next week's presentations. But we're touching almost everything you have mentioned. Identify the players, know where the candidates stand on your issues. We go through everything. Media literacy, it's interactive in that we put whiteboards up and we put, you know, what are issues important to you, and we get them, they read them back, and then we compare that with the list of elected people from the federal down to the school board. Where do you have to pay attention if you're interested in the cell phone usage rules, or if you're interested in environment, or if you're interested in this? It's an interactive idea. And at the end, or not at the end, but we actually had a sample ballot. Nobody'd seen a sample ballot in our class. You could take it out, explain how it was processed, tell them exactly how it works, where you vote in Gunnison County if you want to do it in person. The feedback was very positive. And I think it was very good for the league to do something like this. I think it is kind of confidence building that the league can make a direct impact. And I think it showed that we could put something together that was pretty good. So I'm definitely interested in young people. And I've tailored this for juniors in high school. And it's just something that I wanted you to be aware of. I hope you might take a look at it, you'll be back in the background, and see if you could use this in your portfolio of things. It's much less in scope as to what you're talking about, but sometimes it's hard to get everything put together when you need it, and this could be valuable very soon. You know, you could use this right away.
Sure. Great. Thanks, Sue. Really appreciate that. And I will make sure that
okay, but I'll send you the revised draft in a couple days.
Great.
Don't send me until then. But anyway, it was fun to do. I encourage people to get in the schools.
Great. Thanks so much. Susan.
When we're ready to move to adult education, could you please call on me?
I think we're there. Is that
We're there?
true? Yes. Lori, did you have one more thing to say?
Yes. I just wanted to say something about the comment about going to the school board about the curriculum. I think you need to know your community because our school board is very, very conservative. And I think they would go through any curriculum with a fine-tuned comb, even if we said it was nonpartisan. So that is why I went directly to the teacher, just to try to kind of see how she liked it first. So I just think be careful about going to your school board because ours would not approve of it right away. It would take a long time if they did approve it. So
Excellent point. Know your community. Susan.
So 2 comments. We had Jeff Oster here in Denver from State League, from the Religious Freedom presentation from Gunnison. And one of the very interesting things was one of his first questions to the audience was, do you believe that our country was founded on Christian values? And a lot of his presentation, I would say, was a civics lesson about how, no, our country was not founded on Judeo-Christian values. And there are many people and people in league who feel that that's true. So I think adult education is crucial right now. And one of the things we in the Denver League group did when we found out that National was going to propose positions later this spring on the federal judiciary and the Supreme Court, we put our heads together and said, you know, how many of you remember what you were taught about the federal judicial system, about that third branch of our government from your high school civics classes? And not a whole lot. And so we felt it would be helpful to league members if we put together a Know Your Federal Judicial System 101 civics course in order to help prepare us for when it comes to our consensus discussions about the positions or position that the National League is going to propose that we adopt around the federal judiciary. So this was initially to be something for Denver, and then I heard from a couple of other leagues around the state, and we actually now are going to do it on Zoom. It will be the evening 5:30, March 4th, Tuesday, March 4th. We will be doing it on Zoom. We will have information on the Denver League's website so that any of you can, I mean, anybody can link into it. It doesn't have to be a league member. It's our briefings are open to anyone, but I, in particular, want to make this available to local leagues throughout the state. It will be recorded because we're doing it on Zoom. And I wanted to invite all of you to join us and to participate in that.
Susan, do you know if that event has made it to the state calendar?
You know, I just asked Pearl Ann today, and she said it should have, but I'm not sure it has. And the PR that we're going to put on our Denver website probably ought to go up somewhere on the state website as well. This is not a definitive course. This is a couple of hours review of the federal judicial system. It's going back to the origins all the way back to the Constitution and how the federal judiciary and Supreme Court were established. So from its origins and some of its early history, as well as seminal cases that have moved, particularly the Supreme Court, in various directions. It's crucial to what is happening right now in this country, where we have, and I'm not going to get partisan, but where we have a current administration that is questioning whether or not it's going to abide by decisions of our court system. And they were supposed to be three co-equal branches of government. So as we approach what National is going to offer us in terms of position, and we will have consensus meeting discussions, we felt that this would help give us more background as we discuss that position and whether we want to support that or just to enlighten our local league members and anybody else who would like to participate in that Zoom.
Excellent. I just looked, it's not on the state calendar. Should I
Okay.
call Pearl Ann about that?
Yes, please call Pearl Ann.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I did put in the chat, the Jeffco League already had a town hall meeting on that. And you can watch it on our YouTube. I put it in the chat. And unit meetings next month are going to be on that topic.
It certainly is very timely.
Evie, Evie, that looks like it's the link to the National Town Hall. Is there another
Oh,
link?
well, maybe it is. I don't know. They sent it to us to watch before
the
our
national
meeting.
The National Town Hall is part of what what National is doing to prepare leagues for the consensus meetings that we will have after they. So yes, you can go on the National website and watch that town hall. It was very interesting. It focused primarily on the Supreme Court. What we're wanting to do is give more background and history to go back to the origins of how our federal court system, including the Supreme Court, was originally envisioned, how that has changed over time, and the last two pieces of our presentation will be around what are the current like 5 or 6 major concerns or issues with the lower courts, with the circuit and district courts, and what are some of the possible proposals to improve those systems. And then on the Supreme Court, what are some of the major concerns that we have now about the Supreme Court, including ethics, and what can be done? What are some of the proposals that are in place to improve our court system? This is really a course. It's different from you. By all means, listen to what the National has on its website, and they have some written pieces that are excellent as well that they will be providing to all local leagues. I'm so sorry. Let me turn that off. That they will be providing to all local leagues. Sorry, can't control my landline. That are excellent. But when you read through those, it would be helpful if people could go back and get more information around the basis for our federal court system before they arrive at the materials that are provided by National.
Okay, so we have a fair amount of information available on the judiciary. I personally would love to see some immediate education on checks and balances between the three, since we have our vice president saying that the courts shouldn't be interfering with executive actions.
Right. That's part of why going back into the history to see what checks and balances the founders and other historically our government put in place previously that may be being sidestepped or ignored by what's currently going on. That's very frightening.
Absolutely. Jen, we had also talked last month about trivia games. Should we host?
I did some follow up with Geeks Who Drink.
Cool,
thank you for bringing this up. So how it works with them is that they will pitch round ideas for our approval before they start generating content. And then during the round, they will include a plug for our organization and any calls to action that we provide. Some previous examples of things they worked with Rock the Vote and USA Today to promote voter registration. The themes for those were things like famous campaign songs of presidential candidates and celebrities who promoted Rock the Vote. I think our major problem is going to be budget. I was trying to push to find out how much that would cost. And she was like, well, why don't you tell me your budget and I can tell you what I can do. So I don't even know if we have a budget.
Yeah. We don't, but that doesn't mean we can't find money somewhere.
Okay. they have a very large reach. And so I think they said like over 700 venues. And I said it'd probably be in Colorado to try to, get our budget in this state at least. So just let me know and I can reach back out to her and see what they can offer us.
Cool. I love this idea personally. Is everyone, in case you're not familiar with Geeks Who Drink, it's an organization, a business that puts on trivia contests in bars. 700 venues, 700 bars. That's pretty impressive. I didn't realize they were outside of Colorado though, too. I had wondered if they were a Colorado company. Does everyone like this idea as much as I do? Is this something we should pursue? Great. Okay. Jen, is it all right if I just give you a call and we can talk about what next steps are and how we deal with that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Call Jen Robertson. Okay, it is 6:30 now. We are officially out of time. I'd like to go back because we talked about a lot. Yeah, thanks, Jen. Thank you for doing that. That is fabulous information. We talked about a lot of stuff, but I don't know how many action steps we actually have. I will get with Evie to talk to Julie Ott, who is on the Colorado Association of School Board Executives, and talk about standards. Although noting Lori's idea that we should at times go straight to teachers or other things, other methods. I would also really like to create a whole bunch of social media posts that we can distribute to our chapters, and we can all send them to our friends and things like that for posting on social media, just with catchy graphics and things like that. Does anyone like that idea? Is that something we should pursue? Okay, then we're going to need a list of, you know, nuggets of information around civics education. And, you know, that's a pretty broad topic. So let's talk next month about an efficient way to do that, maybe. I will follow up with Jen on Geeks Who Drink. If you all, if you want to start gathering appropriate nuggets of civics education that is appropriate for a social media post, please feel free to do that. If anyone finds any great information that can be easily passed on checks and balances, I would sure appreciate that. I was looking for a graphic today, but I don't know, they were just weird. Thanks, Jen. Did I miss anything? Is there anything else somebody else wants to do? Linda, you look like you're about to say something.
I know. Have an argument with myself. I wanted to talk to our Poudre Libraries district and see how all they are involved. I know they're always happy to host civic organizations, but I don't know. I'd like to learn more about what they do and if some part of civics education could be incorporated to the public through them.
Great.
Is that okay?
That's awesome.
Do that?
That is great.
And the other thing that I just thought of was that I didn't realize there's such a thing as a national civics bee.
Yes.
And our Larimer County, our Fort Collins Chamber of Commerce is not involved with it. And I don't know
yeah. It's a state or it's a
it's a national.
I think it's through high schools, because I know here in Denver, East Denver High School has entered that and done well in that in past years.
So, and in Colorado, it's organized by the Colorado Chamber of Commerce.
The Arvada Chamber of Commerce is sponsoring one for sure, but so our local league is participating. But I think I don't think there is a state chamber of commerce. There are only local chambers, and they can decide to do it if they want.
Okay.
Right. There is a state chamber. I spoke to a woman last year because I wanted to be a partner, a sponsoring partner of this program. Hey, can we take this over for you? But they were not interested in that at all, because I believe right now the Civics B in Colorado is junior high kids or middle school kids are asked to write an essay, and winning essays get to participate in the Civics B.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I don't know. I wasn't impressed by that. I would rather have an honest civics be in every school in the state.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I know that our Chaffee County League is really hooked in with theirs. But what they're doing is basically encouraging middle schoolers to write an essay and try to get in. But let's talk more about that next month too, and see if we can't brainstorm some ways to get more involved in that, or just ask our our local leagues to pressure their local chamber of commerce to take part at a minimum. Cool. Okay, anything else? Okay. I'm pretty sure everyone here has my email, but just in case, I'll put it in the chat. I will try to make sense of my notes and send them out to y'all before the end of the week. And when I do that, please let me know if I missed anything. And our next meeting is scheduled for sorry, where is it? March. Why isn't it on the calendar? March.
Shouldn't it be Should we March do the 12th, the second?
I think so, yes. So if we're sticking with this timeline, second Wednesday, March 12th at 5:30. So I hope to see you all there, and come with your ideas, and I sure appreciate you. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.